Hey guys, it's Tuxedo here, and today I am playing Always the Same Blue Sky. This is part 2 of this weird visual novel on Steam. I don't know how much it is, because I got it in a bundle on Indie Gala, dirt cheap. Okay, so left off in this. Why does the the dolphins have cow heads? They're clearly making the ocean a huge theme of this, but it's not working out for me. Okay, so as it was only a few minutes to closing time, there was only one table still set up. Luckily, it gave us a spectacular view of the setting sun over the rolling tide. Kira seemed quietly thrilled with her Rocky Road milkshake, which looked bigger than her head. That doesn't fucking look bigger than her head, but sure. She dived in pretty much as soon as we had sat down and drank the whole thing in around 30 seconds. Oh, that's pretty weird. I started to compete with her after she'd taken a couple of glugs, but it didn't go very well as a brain freeze quickly set in. You'll need more practice, I'm afraid. I try and come here most days if I can. It seems to make the school day pass quicker. Why did I make her fucking southern? Whatever. Kira looked out to see as she savored the last few drops. I could sit here all day watching the sea. A lot of people find that mundane, but they wouldn't if they focused on the right things. She blinked as the breeze caught her hair. It whistled slightly as it traveled through the discordant buildings and past us. Her eyes followed it and Her eyes followed the breeze. Okay, sure. Her eyes followed it and lingered in the direction it left. Without turning back, she said in a half-whisper tone, I should go. What? She fucking kissed you already? Ooh, hot. She leaned over, kissed me on the cheek, and laughed. Her hair swayed as she disappeared into the distance. Fun fact, in reality, doesn't happen. Guess that's why it's a fucking game. I decided to go back into town as I'd seen something that caught my eye. What the hell is going on? How did we get here? Why is she fishing? Okay. I'd been moved around my whole life, barely spending more than a few months in one school. People usually react to this fact with pity, not necessarily expecting it vocally, but it's there, in their eyes. This has always made little sense to me, though. I know no different. It's all I've ever known. It's my life. Whatever I want to do, it's my life. Whomever I'm... Why is there a crab on her? Foreshadowing, she has crabs. Okay, school has always been a place of purpose to me. I'm naturally inquisitive and have a strong desire to widen my pool of knowledge. That's why I've always secured a place in the local school before agreeing to relocate. For the first time I could remember, a school had become more than a place of learning for me, and for once I was eager to stay put. Then again, it's hard not to be charmed by the place. The school is situated on the end of a peninsula, and no matter where you are, you can hear the constant lapping of the docile waves on the beach not far below. The teacher and pupils work much in the same way as any other school I've attended, yet it is all sheathed in a potent, comforting, acquiescent atmosphere. Fuck off with the adjectives, which makes it all seem entirely different. Maybe even special. I'd been attending for a few weeks now and had built up some acquaintances in the process, which... The crab's gone. The crab's gone. Oh, the crab's in their hand. Where was I? I'd been attending for a few weeks now, and had built up some acquaintances in the process, which helped the days pass quicker. But the one person there I really cared about seemed cold, almost like she was trying to avoid me. You talking about Kira? Which is strange, as she was the exact opposite outside of the establishment. We spent most of our time after school together, in fact. It had become an unspoken rule that we met in the milkshake parlor. That's, weird, but okay. Just last night, as planned, we went crab fishing. Oh, don't kill poor crabs. Sat at the end of the harbor, we talked until the sun went down, but for some reason, whenever I caught her eye in the classroom, she always looked away. How did we get here? Okay. Kira had been acting weird all day. She was usually so cheerful and full of life, but today, she almost seemed absent. She'd been looking out the window and fiddling with her pen all lesson, which is why it came as no surprise when she got up and walked out towards the end. But why is there like a fucking water tank on top of the school? Interesting. I tried to ignore this concentrate on what the teacher was saying. Poseidon's greatest temple resided in Atlantis, so when Atlantis was destroyed, Poseidon left this planet, and what was on Kira's mind? What was making her unhappy? Could she have family problems? Maybe I was just protecting. Then again, I couldn't recall her ever mentioning her family before. It seemed like a waste of time sitting there contemplating what was running through her mind instead of just asking her. This guy's... What the hell's wrong with this guy? I mean... Wait, how long has he known her? Like a month? I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. As Kira had done a few minutes before, I left the room without a word. I had a feeling I knew where Kira would be. Well, look at that. We appeared... Oh. Oh. My. God. 10 for 10. I found... Where is this? I've never been here before. Okay. I found Kira sat on a collection of large, dark, uneven rocks, which were located on the end of the peninsula beneath the school. They were only accessible at a very limited period each day and weren't easy to reach, but your reward was privacy and a chance to escape the school above, which was out of view due to the rocky area being a little indented into the land. I found Kira sitting there watching the sea massage everything around her, small amounts of spray occasionally spitting over her feet. What the hell was that, my fucking phone? Oh, yeah, it was my fucking phone. Look at that. The sky was gray, and it looked like the storm could be coming, but it wasn't too cold yet. She briefly looked up and smiled at me, acknowledging my presence as I sat on the rock next to her. I rolled up the bottom of my trousers to prevent them from getting wet, pulled my legs towards me, rested my head on my folded arms, and watched the struggling water with her. Even though nothing had been resolved, my head quickly cleared while sitting there. After a few minutes, Kira softly said, I didn't know you had a tattoo. I like it. Fun fact, I didn't know I had a tattoo either. What's wrong, Kira? It's a giant squid, isn't it? Okay. This caught me off guard. It is indeed. Sure. I love their majesty and mystery. I've always had quite a bit of fascination with them, if I'm honest. I can see why, despite the myths not being true. They're complex creatures. Kira, what's wrong? I gave him that fucking voice because he went on a fucking tangent about giant squids. I repeated. She said nothing for a minute. Is it acceptable to be a shellfish? Oh! Sorry. Is it acceptable to be selfish? People are inherently selfish, so therefore, is it fair to be annoyed by selfish behavior? I took a minute myself. Choices. It's a part of a human psyche, something that can't be helped. Just because someone gravitates more easily towards a certain behavior doesn't make it right. Yeah, sure, it's fine. Although people aren't usually open about it, it's unavoidable. But it's not black and white as that. For example, the only reason you're here now looking out for me is in the hope that I'd do the same for you. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the fucking main character's goal is. I hardly know him. If I said right now that I care nothing for you and I'll never speak to you again, would you still be here? I think he probably would. Her tone was emotionless. I took something out of my pocket before I answered. What was the thing? Huh? What am I doing again? What was the question? For example, the only reason you're here now looking out for me is in the hope that I'd do the same for you. If I said right now... yeah, sure, I'll stay. Why not? Yeah, sure, I'll stay. Okay. I said, placing the bracelet I'd bought that first day in her hand. This is to say thank you for showing me around and making me feel welcome. I got up to leave. Kira grabbed my hand, so I turned around and met her eyes. They were full of sincerity. I believe you. Ooh! You have one new item in your Steam inventory. Gotta check that out later. I took her other hand and hoisted her up. If we head back now, we can make the next class. She smiled warmly, but for some reason, it just incited pity. She didn't let go of my hand until we reached the school. What the hell is wrong with her? Why won't she talk to me at school? Where's this? I've never been here before. We went into town that evening. It was quite late, yet the illuminated stained glass bathed the town in a faint rainbow. Why is there bloody stained glass all over the place in this town? We were too absorbed in our debate to pay any attention to where we were going. As a result, we ended up in an unfamiliar area, but we didn't take notice until... Oh, fucking hell. Here, stopped. Do you hear that? Sure. Sounded like an owl, but surely there can't be any. My speech trailed off as I looked around, distracted by something. Where are we, Kira? Kira shrugged, about to speak. It was an owl. Kira looked at me, intent in her eyes. I nodded and we followed his call through a hidden side street. Where are we going? Time slip. Okay. We were greeted by a spectacular courtyard. The whole area was roofed with vines and had an air of being forgotten. The ancient well took center stage, with the star being an ornate birdcage. It hung from the roof, shimmering brilliantly in the moonlight. Kira walked over somberly to investigate. Its door was wide open. Strange. Hey, look, there are all kinds of seeds in here, Kira said, sieving a few through her fingers. I sat on the well next to her. Owls don't eat seeds. Do they? And the plot thickens. Kira sat next to me, and we stayed silent for a minute, giving ourselves time to acclimatize to the mysterious courtyard. The air of a grand cathedral. Kira's... Oh, for fuck's sake. Kira's... words I don't normally use in normal speech because I'm not a fucking retard. Kira's dulcet tone was a welcome addition as she continued our previously interrupted conversation. Large portions of moonlight were blocked by the vines above, imprinting a dense pattern of fine leaves on Kira's face that refused to fully mesh with her as she enthusiastically annotated her history lesson with hand movements. What is going on? Where are we? She talked about the fabled egalitarian society that founded and lived harmoniously in the ancient town before the rest of the world brought in its influences. It sounded truly idyllic, although Kira must have invested a lot of time into studying the day-to-day life and talked about it enthusiastically. She didn't sound fully convinced. So if this island never had contact with the outside world, do you think things could have continued in that way? No, probably not. I can't agree. I don't think things could have continued in that way. Are you kidding me? Impossible. Just impossible. I asked, jumping on her train of thought. Well, in theory, that'd be great, but most people aren't good through and through, as I'm sure you know, traveling as much as you have. Realistically, it was inevitable. The islanders just blame others so that they don't have to take responsibility for their mistakes. It's human nature. I guess there can never be real harmony in human societies. There will always be destruction until there's nothing left to destroy. What? 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 Sure, I'll agree with you. It used to shock me returning years later to places I'd once lived. Some places it took me a while to realize, but every single place without fail had changed, and never for the better. In fact, it's the places that see the most economic growth that tend to lose the most. Make always the same blue sky great again. That's what I have to say. 2016. Kira looked up to the moon, her hands grasped together and her eyes glinting as a gentle breeze ruffled the leaves above. Barely audible, almost like it was part of an exhaled breath, I'm sure I heard Kira say, "It was always inevitable." What was? The hell? Well, fuck off. I keep hitting right click. Well, that's an episode. Yelling on men yelling. Sure. Why not? So for story, 10 for 10. Don't know what's going on. Overwrite my save. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll overwrite my save. So, if you like that video, why don't you go ahead and hit that like button? And if you haven't already, you can subscribe to more videos. Yeah. See you in the next one.